How are you getting on with that presentation, Sally? The one you're going to give on insects and human diseases?
I'm just working on it now, actually. How convenient. You can help me with it.
Okay. What would you like me to do?
Just a couple of things. First, I'd like to run through the basic facts, just to see if you think I'm leaving anything out. How about if you ask me questions and I'll see if they're covered in my notes?
All right. Let's see. Okay, I'll start with something general. Are there a lot of insects that carry diseases that affect humans? I mean, I know there's a type of mosquito that carries malaria, but apart from that, are insects generally as dangerous as some people make out?
A few insects are, yeah. It's the Anopheles mosquito that transmits the malaria parasite, by the way. While it's sucking blood, the parasite passes into the victim's bloodstream. Nearly 3 million people die of malaria worldwide each year, mostly children. And there's another type of mosquito, the Aedes aegypti, that carries a viral infection called dengue fever. It's spreading quite fast in the tropics and subtropics, and in some cases it can prove fatal.
I see. And what about flies? Are they dangerous? I mean, we're always told they're dirty and unhygienic.
Well, houseflies can be dangerous, especially in unsanitary conditions. You know, where there's no adequate water supply, or if people don't follow the basic rules of hygiene when they handle food. Houseflies transmit quite a lot of infectious diseases, actually, especially what are known as enteric diseases. Dysentery, for example, though it can be transmitted in other ways as well.
It sounds like most of these diseases are more common in tropical countries and poor countries. Is that true?
In general, yes. But people in developed countries shouldn't feel complacent. What with people travelling more nowadays, tropical diseases are starting to appear in non-tropical countries. And of course, developed countries have their own disease-carrying insects. For example, in North America, there's a type of tick, the black-legged deer tick, that spreads Lyme disease. Normally, it only affects deer, but humans can also contract it if one of these ticks latches onto them instead.
That reminds me of something I read the other day about a disease people can catch from sheep and goats. Q fever, I think it's called.
That's right, but it's not spread by insects, so I won't be talking about it in my presentation.
Okay. Are there many other disease-carrying insects?
Lots. Body lice, for example. People who live in unhygienic conditions often have them, and they're the main cause of epidemic typhus, a fatal bacterial infection.
Epidemic typhus?
Yes, because there's also endemic typhus, which is mainly transmitted by fleas.
The fleas you find on cats and dogs?
Rat fleas, usually.
I'm sure I've heard about a disease we can catch from cats. Toxos something.
Toxoplasmosis. Yes, you can catch it from cats, but it's carried by the cat itself, not by its fleas. You can even get it by eating meat that hasn't been cooked properly. It's quite common, actually. But to get back to insects, I've just got a couple more diseases in my notes. Most people have heard of sleeping sickness and the tsetse fly, but there's also river blindness. That's a parasitic infection carried by black fly. It's quite common in West Africa. And then there are various varieties of leishmaniasis, also common in West Africa, but parts of the Mediterranean too. These will prove fatal to your dog, but can also affect and sometimes kill humans, caused by a tiny sandfly, about a third the size of a mosquito.
What a hazardous world we live in.